Okay, so we are going to have a group discussion now. Now, how many of you have attended group discussions before this? I mean, for an interview or something like that, for a job. Have you all attended a group discussion? No? Tanya says no. What about the others?
Yeah, in college.
Okay, in college. For?
Just for competition.
For competition. Okay. Okay, so now what happens in the job interviews? In the job interviews, usually first you have an aptitude test that allows you to be shortlisted. Then you come into the interview. After the interview, again, there is a shortlisting. So once you clear the interview, you are put into the group discussion. And then from the group discussion, you go to the next round of interviews and other things. So where after the group discussion, if you are selected, that means you are the next round of interviews is going to be very, very focused. It will be totally only about you as आप इस post पे क्या करेंगे, क्या नहीं करेंगे, etc. But in the group discussion, what is actually seen is the most important thing, your power of expression. How well you express yourself. तो इसलिए जो टॉपिक दिए जाते हैं ग्रुप डिस्कशन के, वो ज्ञान देने वाले टॉपिक नहीं होते. वो ऐसे टॉपिक होते हैं जहां पे मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स आपकी ओपिनियन और दूसरों की ओपिनियन सेम नहीं हो सकती. ओके, मैच नहीं करेगी. और ऐसे टाइम पर आप क्या बोलोगे डिपेंड्स अ लॉट, बिकॉज दैट इज व्हाट इट्स सीन एज यू एज अ पर्सन. जो इंटरव्यू में जो बहुत भारी भारी चीजें बोल रहा था, वो क्या सही में अब ऐसा है, ये देखने का यही एक मौका होता है. सो मे बी इन द इंटरव्यू यू मस्ट हैव सेड कि हाँ, हम सबको बहुत इक्वली ट्रीट करते हैं, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. बहुत कुछ भारी भारी बोल दिया होगा. And then in the group discussion, certain topics are coming up which actually show, आपकी reactions ये दिखाती हैं कि आप open minded हैं, क्या आप equality में really believe करते हैं, क्या आप gender sensitized हैं, आप क्या type के मतलब आप किस तरीके के values रखते हैं, ये सब कुछ दिखने वाला है. So there will be topics that will be put across you, which will have a certain element of controversy. And at the same time, it will open always with something which is very, very general, very general. Matlab, they'll talk about what is the kind of film, the latest drama, latest sporting event, something of that sort. And now in the current context, they will also ask you about bilateral relationships between two countries. आपका इसमें क्या thought process है, आपको क्या लगता है इस वक्त कौन सही है, कौन नहीं है, कौन सही नहीं है, type of, you know. So these are the type of things that people are going to ask you. And so since Jagrati had said that she has experienced one group discussion in college, in competition, can you tell us more about what was there in that competition and what was the topic and how did you all, and how many years ago was it? And then I think even Deepali has switched on her camera, so she probably wants to say something. But yes, Jagrati, you can start.
In 2015, during my college, we have
2002, are you saying?
2015.
15. Okay.
And that the topic was ethics. एथिक्स के बारे में हम
किसके बारे में?
के बारे में एथिक्स के बारे में एथिक्स के बारे में एक था कि क्या उसके होना चाहिए, नहीं होना चाहिए, क्यों होना चाहिए, कैसे होना चाहिए. एथिक्स इस तरह से
So I'll just take the same option that Jagrati is talking about, and let us see if we can have a group discussion here. and let us see how you will face the group discussion. So I'm asking you this particular question, and because it is put up by Jagruti, and she's talking about ethics. Let us talk about something in which she works, and then let's see if we have got a particular, like, what is your view. So what do you think, or what is your opinion about the people who worked in the war rooms during COVID? You know what are war rooms, right? जहाँ पे सब सेंट्रल कंट्रोल होता था, हजारों फोन आ रहे हैं, तुम फोन उठा उठा के लोग बात कर रहे हैं और उनको डायरेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे बेड अवेलेबल है या नहीं है, एम्बुलेंस भेजी जा रही है लोगों के साथ में. I mean, we have a lot of war rooms because I come from a state which has been the most affected, and I come from the city also which has been most affected by COVID for past 2 years. So we have lots of war rooms, and we really have this category of people who are very traumatized also and very fatigued also because they have constantly worked in war rooms. So what's your take on, do the people of war room, do they need break? What would you do if you were in charge of, you were the medical in charge or the medical superintendent of a war room? What would you do? Or do you know how the war room works like? Or there was this, there is this series which has got one episode on such a particular person in war room, where the person knows that there's a bed, but also knows that the person who requires the bed is somebody who has done something wrong. So what would you do in such circumstances? Would you give the bed? Would you not give the bed? It's that type of an episode. But such type of questions, when we talk about ethics, will definitely come into, yeah, Kenya is giving a big smile. I think she's seen that episode, or I should say seen something similar. So whenever and wherever there is a particular problem, there is there have been so many issues that we have had just now. So if I tell you that the produce of the farmers should go straight from the farmers to the customers, that will make the farmers have the straight profit, and the customers will get straight straight from the farm, from farm to kitchen. It's something of a tagline. How much of it do you agree with, and why? And if you don't agree, why don't you agree? If that it's something as simple as this, then what are you going to talk about? Or I can just tell you, nowadays everyone uses bamboo products. Do you think that this is really eco-friendly? The tiffin boxes are made of wood and bamboo. The toothbrushes are made of wood and bamboo. Everything is being made of wood and bamboo. Do you think this is really eco-friendly? Yes, go ahead, Dipali.
Yes, ma'am, it's really eco-friendly unless and until green bamboos are cut for it. And the plantation will be improved much more. There will be scope for the cultivation of bamboos. And the things are really eco-friendly because recently I went to one sustainable agriculture exhibition where I got an opportunity to see those things. So actually the thing very good, very light in weight. It's a great gift by nature.
Yeah, but you used a very nice sentence. If they are not cutting. Now, how will you ensure that?
Now, here is a different opinion, ma'am. Actually, there should be some sort of certifications or some sort of licenses which must be mandatory for the people who are bringing up some such sort of products. Otherwise, the customer can't, from customer's end, you can't have any control over it. But yes, the manufacturers and the producers can definitely be made mandatory to carry such licenses or some sort of government permissions for this. So it will be good.
Okay. But don't you think that it will bring in the license Raj again? So you will have a lot of corruption to get one license.
Obviously, uncorrupted one. Yeah. So,
yeah. So now just see, now what is happening here, if this is a point given to you in the group discussion, the points are picked up from there itself and I'm asking other questions, right?
correct.
So this is what exactly you have to do in your group discussion. Okay, so suppose if he is saying something, then instead of me picking up the points, you all have to pick up points and take the group discussion further. That will help. And yeah, you are not going to like, you can't say that what you're saying is wrong. So I never use the word that Dipali, but this doesn't happen. No. I just asked her, but are we sure? Is there anything of that sort? So it means that when you, this is how the interviewer को आप बता रहे हैं कि there will be instances. See, अगर हम किसी के साथ में भी काम कर रहे हैं तो हम 100% किसी के साथ agree नहीं कर सकते कभी भी. So if you don't agree with a particular person, even then, how do you think you will behave? तो क्या आपको मैं एम्प्लॉय करूंगी उसके बाद में आप किसी के साथ अग्री नहीं करेंगे, डिसएग्री करेंगे, तो क्या कंपनी में झगड़ा होता रहेगा? या आप उसको सुलझाओगे या आप उसको एक प्रॉपर तरीके में आप उसको ऑब्जेक्ट कर रहे हो, सॉर्ट ऑफ. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ द पॉइंट्स आर कमिंग अप. ओके, नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन. I mean, I'm going to put up a point. Again, with this itself, we are just going with this eco-friendly thing because then सबको बात करने को मौका मिलेगा. It's not very subject specific. So we can take it ahead. Now, what she said was, they are very eco-friendly, these products. But what I feel is, now this is like a group discussion. आपको अब इसको आगे बढ़ाना है. Okay, that will give you a hands-on. This is not about my views. Okay, I'm putting it on record. It is not about my views, but this is how the interviewers actually will try to put some googly, जिससे कि आप थोड़े ऐसे हो जाओगे कि अच्छा, ओके, ठीक है, चलो कुछ और सोच. So this was, ये ना बहुत पहले हुआ करता था दीपाली मैडम कि we used to use wooden things only, not bamboo things maybe, but wooden things. But what happened was, we found that forests were cut a lot, and that is the reason why plastic was brought in, so that we won't have to cut forests for our own products that we are using. So what do you think, what went wrong? Are we going back to the same old thing? So now, see, now what I have done is, I have put a contradiction, or I am bringing it to the notice कि actual में plastic was introduced so that we didn't have to cut forests and bamboos and all that. And now we are going back to the same one. So what is going wrong somewhere? Now I am maybe I'm an interviewer who's trying to, make you wonder and make you maybe switch your sides. So now pick up from here and discuss certain points. So I throw it open. So now, what would you all say?
Yes, definitely, ma'am. Bamboo toothbrushes, majorly I had seen 2, 3 products which were made up of bamboo. Few of them were toothbrushes and earrings. So there were some ladies who were damn happy to get such sort of earrings. They were damn big still. They were easily getting it because of the reason metallic earrings were piercing of cutting of their earlobes to a deeper length. So it was a great substitute by nature. And toothbrushes and these are very made up of plastics. And when we throw off the waste toothbrushes into the trash, they really become a problem, maybe to recycle or to reuse. But the bamboo things are eco-friendly, so it's a great substitute to overcome the plastic trash.
Okay. What do others have to say about it? Because jewelry, yes, we don't throw away jewelry any which ways. So jewelry is long lasting anyway, right? So
no, the heavier jewelry was a problem for those women who I had seen there.
yeah.
So it was a limitation.
Bamboo jewelry is a good
Yeah.
alternative. Yeah. But what about the toothbrushes, the tiffins, and the other things? Do you think that we really need bamboo tiffins? Why not plastic? It's not
See,
not
ma'am,
recommended.
plastics nowadays, a lot of research is being done on plastics and some microplastics, like IITians also had done a great research, and it's been proven that it's carcinogenic to a great extent. So microplastic, microfibers, even the salt what we consume these days, even if it's branded, still there is microplastic which cannot be separated out even by the IITians. So now people are moving again back towards the nature and getting help from the nature, because after all these things are like nature things are at least edible, they are not harmful or not carcinogenic, not at all. So it's a great substitute in my opinion. Eco-friendly things. Not only bamboo, I'm insisting, but eco-friendly. Yes, yeah.
So now here she has picked up very nicely. Just see, now I'm not an interview anymore. I just want to point out how she has studiedly spoken about it. Now she talks about microplastics. So somebody else in the group should pick up from that microplastics and start about generation of microplastics. So if you are in this particular group and you see that, okay, it's only me and Dipali who has been talking, the others have not been talking. Probably because either you agree with Dipali or you don't know what to talk. But you have to talk, even if you are in a group discussion where all your points are set by somebody. तो जैसे अभी आपके दिमाग में 10 पॉइंट होंगे, 10 के 10 दीपाली ने ले लिए, तो अब क्या आप चुप बैठोगे? No. What you will do is you will say, I strongly agree with Dipali. I am totally on this with Dipali. You have to be vocal, okay? And then add something like, Dipali, that was very nice I totally agree with you. And the point that you have brought about microplastics is really very important. Microplastics, even in salt. So many a times when we eat salt, we don't really know, right? How much of microplastic are we consuming? And is it only the carcinogenic factor that is there, or is it something more? So take it ahead, take the discussion ahead. Don't let the discussion stop there. This is what we are trying to actually bring in through this particular group discussion here. Okay, otherwise what will happen is only 2 or 3 people will talk. If you don't talk in a particular group discussion, it means that you do not know how to voice your opinion. You do not know how to voice whether you're taking sides of somebody. You do not know how to voice if you are not taking sides with anybody. And no company, no organization wants people who cannot give voice, because we want human beings to bring up those points, to identify those gaps, to bring out things. Okay, this has to be done. Now, how? Now, because we have been talking about this eco-friendly thing or something like that, then I know that if next time my company or my organization is going to have, let us say, a secret Santa type of a thing, I know that there will be a 2 or 3 people whom I can give the responsibility of, or who will take the responsibility of bringing in eco-friendly gifting ideas. It can be as simple as that, but companies do that, right? Institutions do that. So all these things are needed. So I wouldn't be seeing Tupperware being given out. No plastic ka dabbas are being given out in my organization. Maybe even when something as simple as like, because we are talking on this, I can then ask her that, or I can just ask, suppose if I was the interview dene wala person, okay, one of the person who's giving group discussion, and let us say sir here was the interviewer, and because he has, let's assume that he has given this particular topic, I would also see that, I would also say it that no, not only plastic, but do you know the styrofoam cups that we use for tea in our office, they are also contributing to this. And then the person who's interviewing suddenly becomes, yes, this person is going to bring in some positive change here, okay, and not just criticizing but bringing positive change. That's how the thing should be. So does anyone want to give uh, any topic now for the next discussion? For, let's say, like, we still have 5 to 7 minutes where we can have discussion, and then I can keep the session open for any other question answers. Anyone discussion point, or anyone like topic that any one of you wants? Then if not, then I'll give the points and then we will have a discussion. But I already gave one, right? So how about you giving another topic? Nobody?
If we talk in this context, can we think of steel as an alternative to bamboo tiffins? And
yes, definitely. So are we taking this ahead? Okay, so steel. Yeah, steel again is a very good alternative, and I guess we all have been using steel. Indians have been using steel for a very long time, and now I am behaving as a interviewee, not an interviewer. Okay, for some time. And then because see, group discussion is the place where you show कि आपके पास extra ज्ञान भी अगर है, तो वो भी आपको दिखाना है, without making somebody feel कि मुझे बहुत कुछ आता है. That is the beauty of the group discussion. So now the moment she is talking about stainless steel, I will say that, do you know that stainless steel is a very Indian thing? No other country uses stainless steel the way Indians use it, because stainless steel stands for sturdiness, robustness. कैसे भी उठाओ, कैसे भी पटको, बस stainless steel का चलता रहेगा. It's like we Indians, right? We will like go through lots of hardships, but still we'll be there. So now what I'm giving, the same topic is, just notice this. I have given it a cultural aspect. Okay. I totally brought a cultural aspect in it, and see if you can take it ahead. Yes. So I can also now bring it like stainless steel, porcelain, glass, all of it, ceramics, all of it are sustainable alternatives. But which one is a better one out of all these?
So we live in a country where we have a kind of integration with steel. So we could, in our organization, we could make certain efforts for focusing on a single community, like focusing on people who have this emotion attached to this particular thing. We can raise some kind of fortune for us. I don't know.
Yeah, so the last sentence you should not say, I don't know, maybe. The rest of the thing is all fine. Yeah, what about the others? The others are very silent. Dipali and Tania have been talking about. Jagruti is also speaking whenever required. What about the others? There's no group discussion. Okay, nothing to discuss. So, okay, so now as an interviewer, what happens? In a group discussion, now I came to know that these two are very vocal. This gives me a chance to shortlist them. Why will I shortlist these 2-3 people? Is because I know that if I have to send somebody to go and talk to other institutes and other organizations where some MOU has to be signed, because this is how people work now. Abhi ek industry या एक organization कभी अकेले में काम नहीं करता, right? So whom do I send? Who talks well? Who picks up the good points? Who puts up apna points in a very good manner? So these two. The others were silent, may be very knowledgeable, may have topped the aptitude test, may have cleared the interview, but I don't think they are the people who can go ahead and convince others for collaboration. So यहाँ लग गया sieve. Sieve मतलब जो चालनी होती है ना, वो. So actually through all this, what we are doing is we are putting sieves at different places. So for the first aptitude, yes, whether you have the aptitude or not, we took the test. So separate. Then whether you can present yourself well, separate. Now, can you fit into the organization to take the organization ahead with collaboration? Separate. So this is the point where actually out of 10 people, I will choose only 3 or 4 max. That's the 40% selection. And only out of these 40% people will go ahead. Does that mean that you always have to talk? No. You can actually show in the group discussion. Say it is a group discussion. Okay. And you may feel कि हाँ, all these people are talking so much. मेरे points कौन सुनने वाला है? मैं क्यों बोलूं? But it's your body language that also matters. So suppose if you agree with what Deepali was saying and you actually want to, say the same thing, then you will actually put up your hand or you will do this, that yes, this is correct. I wanted to say this. Okay? इशारे कर सकते हो आप. So be vocal, be expressive. If you're going to be expressive, that also means that you don't feel awkward in किसी को शाबाशी देने में आप hesitate नहीं कर रहे हो. आप उतने खुले दिल वाले हो कि her point was very good, and then it was like, yes, correct. So when Tehniya said stainless steel, oh yes, okay, and then you smile, maybe thinking of how many times your mother has reminded you of, bringing back that steel tiffin that you have not brought from God knows where. Okay, so you can always bring in all those things and you can smile, and then you can say, oh, you reminded me of a very good incident or a very funny incident. You just have to find out places and gaps where your voice is heard. That is what is group discussion all about. Okay. You can also say that plastic is much cheaper as compared to all these eco-friendly sustainable products, and therefore it is very essential that we see to it that the cost of these eco-friendly alternatives is also low, so that it can be affordable to across all the socio-economic sectors of the society. Once you say this word, it means that you're also looking out for a spectrum of people and not only the people that you are thinking of. So just try to find out a space somewhere where you can actually bring your voice in. Okay, and now if you see just now, this is very typical. In the workforce also, this is quite typically seen. In the group discussion, the women are more vocal than the men. Whereas in the beginning, when we started the session at 2 o'clock, it was the men who were talking more, who were asking more questions. It was Vishal who started asking the questions. And now if you see, the women have given themselves much more voice. That is the reason why interviewers actually take so many different types of things. So that if you are not comfortable in one-to-one, your voice should be at least seen in group discussion, at least seen in some way or the other. So please make it a point that pick up good places where there can be discussion and put up different points which really matter to you, which really make a difference to your life. And now, because it's like last 7 minutes or so, I'm opening it up for questions and any other thing that you want to ask. So now the floor is open for all sorts of question answers. We have done the interview session, we have done the group discussion. Anything that you want to ask about these two, about oral communication in general, about preparation for the interviews, preparation for the group discussion, preparation for anything related to skills, oral communication skills. And that is purposely the reason why I did not keep any PowerPoint today.
Yeah, ma'am. Sometimes if you interviewer ask about family background, so what to answer in this question? Means family background means हमें क्या बताना है उनको? Many
Okay.
times ऐसा question होता है.
Yes. So when people ask you about your family background, either you talk about the education, business, and the place from where you come to. You also talk about if your family is a diverse family. Diverse family with respect to if in your family you have multicultural people coming in. मतलब आपकी family member, एक family member कोई दूसरे culture के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, तो आप वो उसको जरूर बताइए. Nobody is asking you whether you belong to a rich or a poor family. They are asking you how you deal with people. So is it a large family or a small family? Have you moved in from your original place of residence to some other place? This is what people want to know. Like, suppose I'm assuming that you are from Gujarat. So are you originally from the same city where you have like your parents, your family is there since like past 50 years, 100 years? Then you should say that I originally belong to this place, and it's a large family or it's a small family, it's a family of businessmen, it's a family of mixture of businessmen and professionals, and ऐसे बोलना है आपको.
Okay, thank you.
मैम व्हाट विल वी डू इन अ ग्रुप डिस्कशन? मतलब जहां हमें ऐसा कोई टॉपिक मिले जिसका हमें कोई आइडिया ही नहीं है, मतलब वी डोंट नो एनीथिंग अबाउट इट.
ऐसा कभी हुआ है?
डोंट नो वेदर टू एग्री और वेदर टू डिसएग्री. वी डोंट नो एनीथिंग व्हाट टू डू.
नहीं ऐसा कभी हुआ है?
मतलब आई हैव नेवर बीन इन सच अ डिस्कशन.
ओके, कोई किसी और के साथ ऐसा हुआ है क्या? ओके, यूजुअली ऐसा नहीं होता कि हमें कुछ भी ना पता हो, और अगर सपोज करो कि सही में ऐसा हुआ, तो यू शुड एक्चुअली स्टेट. या आई मे साउंड वेरी मतलब क्या हम ऐसे बोल दे कि हमको नहीं आता? यस, दैट शोज योर ऑनेस्टी and that gives out the reason why you are being quiet. Okay, then you will not come across as a person who cannot express, but you will come across as a person who doesn't open her mouth till she knows what she's talking, and that's a very good quality. So you should make that like noticed. So you will say, I love group discussions, but I'm very sorry, I have no clue and no background about the topic that we are talking of. If I wish I knew more so that I could view and voice my opinion, but I really am sorry that I do not know anything about this particular topic. So that's how you still say, and you don't remain silent mute spectator. Did I answer you, Tehania? Is this answer satisfactory to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, when someone asks how to means like please introduce yourself. So sometimes it's a big thing because suppose in my case I'm answering to education, then publications, then experiences, and the
No.
courses.
No, I actually have.
Yeah, you answered, but suppose
No, so your publications is about. Okay, I'll just try to frame it in a better way.
yeah.
So, what are your publications about?
Same field, ma'am, agriculture.
हाँ, but agriculture में क्या?
Breeding.
Of
Plant breeding.
कौन से plants?
Cotton.
हाँ. So now see, I had to ask you so much, right?
Yeah.
So you would say that my major research area is on the breeding of cotton, and I picked up this project because, or I picked up, this is my major major research area because I believe, and then continue that why cotton? Just because is it available, or because you really feel that cotton is an indigenous crop in India and we need to research on it? So your belief system should come out of it. ये ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए कि रिसर्च हम इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि हमको किसी ने बताया हुआ था और दूसरा कोई टॉपिक अवेलेबल नहीं था, मेरे गाइड ने बताया. It should be like you have a very strong belief, and that is why I don't know, Kavyashri had introduced, right? So when I gave my introductory paragraph to your institute, I had said that my major research area is social media in education, because actually my PhD topic is I use Facebook for education, because I really firmly believe that yes, Facebook and all social networking sites have got a huge potential. So if somebody is going to ask me that, it's about my liking, my choice, not because somebody else told. So that's how, Dipali, you should tell. When you say it, you should say that why cotton. So you will say that I chose this topic because I know, or I believe, or I am of the opinion that cotton being an indigenous staple, most used material, it has to be blah, blah, blah. You know better than that way you will introduce.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question? Does it give
Yes,
you a
ma'am.
clear idea?
Actually, I was intending to ask you, shall I compile education along with publication?
No,
Courses which
not needed. Not
done
needed.
online and the experience.
No, not needed is because, see, your publications are important. You will not even rattle off the publications. You will only talk about what is your major focus
Major
area.
one. Correct.
Yeah, and you don't have to talk about I'm a PhD in this, I'm a PhD in that, because the CV is there in front of them.
Correct.
You can just say during my PhD I chose cotton because, and for this I have publications in blah blah blah.
Okay.
Because your entire CV has it, they have shortlisted, so no need of doing that.
Okay, ma'am. Got it. Thank you, ma'am.
Most right. Anything else? Anybody else wants to ask? Okay. If there are no questions or something, then I think we can our time.
Yes, if there are no any questions, then we will wrap up the session now.
Yes. Yeah, we'll wrap up the session.
There is silence, so there may not be any questions now.
Yeah.
Participants, if you have any questions, please ask immediately. Because already it is 4 o'clock. Madam has another assignments, so she has to attend those assignments also. So I think there are no any questions, ma'am. So we'll conclude the session.
Yes.
So thank you, madam, for guiding our students on this very important topic, that interview skills and group discussions. Because most of the times, whether the people will be hired or not, that depends upon these crucial two aspects or two dimensions of our personality. You can say how you handle your interview and how you handle how you act during the group discussion, how you express during the group discussions, and the points, the guidelines you provided, the tips you provided in today's sessions, they were really invaluable, and definitely they will help our students to sharpen their interview skills as well as group discussion skills, which ultimately will lead to enhancement in their global competence. So, on behalf of the Postgraduate Institute, Mark of the Khushi Depi, I am very much thankful to you, madam, and I am
Thank you,
very
sir.
much grateful and indebted to you for giving your valuable knowledge and expertise and valuable time to guide our students up to today. So, thank you once again, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. And thank you for inviting. And it was great to interact with people here. This is something which is like agriculture. I have absolutely no connection. So when you asked me, I really did not know what am I going to do. But I hope that the students found it, I mean, the participants found it informative, at least. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Really an interesting and informative session, ma'am. Definitely, it will help our students in that.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank you.
evening. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you. We will stop
Stay
here.
safe.